Alright, what is up with y'all? I'm here for another update video, which is funny because I just did an update video for Rayman a few days ago. So I haven't really been talking about anything new, but I promise I will be soon. I've just been busy with a lot of stuff. But besides all that, we're here to talk about some updates for Sonic 06 Recompiled. As it's been about a few weeks to a month since my last video, which I gotta mention something. I really do appreciate the amount of support that video got, but I'm also kind of surprised with how much comments I got in that video and how many people were just kind of arguing and discussing about Sonic 06 in that video in general. I haven't had this many comments on a video since my anime games video from a year back. So seeing all the people discussing the game in the comment section, it's just been really nice to see. Even if some people were arguing back and forth, but it is what it is. I like to see people discuss stuff, and it's just really nice to see. But besides all that, we're here to talk about Marathon Recompiled, and I just wanted to talk about some of the updates that we have gotten for the game so far. And once again, shout out to Isaac. I'm gonna leave his Blue Sky in the description. Go follow him. He's posting, some updates every other week, so go follow him just so you're in the know of the project and when it's almost finished, when it is finished and all that stuff. And let's just get right into some of the first things that he talked about. So first things first, we can see here that Isaac is talking about how they now have metal in direct 3D support. They fixed up some of the shaders and improved some of the colors for the game. They have a working installer for the game as well, and one thing that I am really excited to see is that they have finally ported over some mod patches, which I'll touch upon later when it comes to mods that you could run on this game, because I do want to talk about that just briefly later. We can also see here from this tweet that they've talked about how they fixed up some of the shadows, so that way some shadows will appear at a longer distance, and we also finally have some configurable shadows and reflections. I'm gonna throw up some pictures on the screen. It's gonna be kind of hard to tell, but I'm sure if you have a good eye for it, you could see some of the differences. And over here on this tweet, we can see that they have now fixed up some of the reflections in Crisis City. They've started working on the autosave system, and the coolest thing here is that we can see that they're working on fixes so that way you could run the game just a tad bit better when at 60 FPS, which is going to be huge for this game, since I know kind of like with Unleashed, it kind of suffers from a poor frame rate, so it being completely smooth at 60 and potentially higher, I say potentially, but I bet it is going to be higher, is going to be really nice to see. Last but not least, we have this tweet right here which talks about how widescreen is going to work on the pre-rendered cutscenes, and you can use the Japanese voice actors in the game now. And yeah, that is so far all we have gotten besides the gameplay that I'm playing in the background. This is actually new Kingdom Valley gameplay from Isaac. Unlike the last video, this footage is in 4K, even though you can't really tell, but it is in 4K, and they also improved some of the things like the lighting and the motion blur as well. And that's all we really have for new stuff when it comes to Marathon Recompiled. But as I did mention earlier, I did want to bring up mods, because as I mentioned before in the little update section, they were able to apply some mod patches, or rather just some patches from the mod manager itself, because I know some mod managers just come with pre-built-in codes and patches, so that's probably what they just ported in. But I do want to bring up some mods that you could potentially run on this game, because just like Unleashed Recompiled, that game was built off of the Xbox 360 version, and I'm pretty sure Marathon Recompiled is the same thing. And because of that, I'm pretty sure a lot of the mods that already exist for the Xbox 360 version are probably just gonna work right here as soon as the project is finished. And for full transparency, I'm grabbing most of these mods from Tracker TD's, I think it's called the Sonic Perfect System Collection. I think that's what it's called, where it's basically just some of the best mods that you can install for Sonic games. I'm grabbing most of these from him, so all credit to him when it comes to finding these mods and what you should apply for these games. So first things first, and probably the best mod that you can have for this game is gonna be Legacy of Solaris. This is basically a must-have if you're gonna want to play 06 modded, and I know a lot of the charm of this game comes from the fact that it is very broken, but if you do want to have a more, I guess less broken experience, this mod is gonna help you. It's also going to include some cut content, some extra content as well, and it's just going to be the best way to experience 06. The next mod that I have up next is one that's going to fix Sonic's running animation. As you know, in the retail game, his running animation is just him with his arms out on both sides, and it just looks really goofy. Well, this mod is just gonna essentially replace his base retail running animation with his Mach speed animation. A very simple mod, but a mod that I would suggest picking up regardless, just because I feel like his base one is just really stupid to look at half the time. And finally, for this next one, and basically the last one, this is gonna be a remastered UI mod. And just like the name suggests, it's basically gonna make the UI of the game look a lot more crisp. It's gonna be a lot more cleaner. But to those that actually prefer the E3 HUD for this game, there's actually a mod that basically recreates it, and this mod also supports that mod as well. So if you want your UI to look very crisp and modern and stuff like that, I would really suggest you pick this mod up. But other than that, that's gonna be the end of the video. When we get some more footage and some more news, I'll make another follow-up video to this and let y'all know how the game is going. But other than that, I'm out, and I'll see y'all next time.